Hey everybody, Max Kevin here. It's a little cutie podcast. It's not too long. Well, I had a great night last night. Friday night, fucking party podcast. I had a pretty great night last night. I went down to Winston's, Ocean Beach, locals only. Do a little comedy show down there. I was handing out flyers. That was pretty fun. I was like, yeah, come to the comedy show. Everyone's like, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. One guy just took the card and then just dropped it on the sidewalk. That wasn't very nice. I think he was probably stoned or something. Goddamn drug addicts walking around Ocean Beach. Yeah, you know what's the problem with like handing out flyers in Ocean Beach is like there's a lot of like homeless people walking around, and you gotta like, and there's not just homeless people, but also just like almost homeless people that they'll probably be homeless next month, but not yet, and they're just like walking around. So you're handing out these flyers, and you're like, does this person have any money? I don't think they do. Like there was this one group of young rapscallions. I was handing the flyers, and they're like, "Oh, comedy show! I want to see that. Is it free?" I'm like, "Nope, it's $5." And they're like, "Oh, that's too expensive for me. I'm poor." And it's like, "Well, I don't think you're going to be able to do anything." And what are you gonna? You can go hang out by the beach, maybe that's free. I don't know what you're doing down here. You can't go any of the bars. You can't buy anything. So I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what kind of life you're trying to live without spending any money. Anyway, went in there, did my set. It was pretty. It was pretty empty. There wasn't that many customers. I don't know. I would say there was fucking only like 10 audience members. Which is kind of weird. Every time I perform there at the main show, it's always empty. And then like the times I go there when I'm not performing, I'm just helping promote it, it's always full. It's like I don't get what's wrong. What's wrong with me? Is it me? Do I smell bad? People don't want to go in there whenever I perform? Whatever, dude. Whatever, bro. Whatever, dog. Anyway, I was pretty proud of my performance. It's one of those ones where I finally just like had fun and was able to go back and forth with the audience, and it didn't. My jokes didn't feel scripted. Like it felt like I was actually talking with the audience. So it felt really good. I forgot my fucking closing joke. It's like I can never remember the fucking order they go in. Cause I always get so hyped up, excited when I get up there, and the adrenaline makes me forget. So anyway, I forgot my closing joke, but it didn't even fucking matter, because I was having fun with everybody. So I was just like, oh god, I forgot my last joke. That's fucking terrible. Anyway, thanks for listening. And yeah, it was good. It was good. It was a good performance, even though I forgot my last joke there. And of course, last night, Lee Syatt was coming down to San Diego. I don't know if you guys know Lee Syatt. He's the sidekick of Joey Diaz there on the Church of What's Happening Now podcast, which I've been listening to that for years. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years, I guess. I don't know if it's been that long. It seems that long. I don't know, maybe 4 years. But yeah, he was coming down. He was coming down to San Diego, so I was a little starstruck, because I've been listening to that podcast all this time, and so it's like, holy shit, it's fucking Lee Syatt, man. I listen to that guy all the time. Even though I guess Lee, he's not really famous. He started doing comedy this past year or so, and he's not super famous, but he's famous to me. You know what I mean? So I was real excited, and I was hoping he was going to see my set, but he didn't get there in time to see my set. He went up like right after me, and he showed up like I guess as I was doing my set when he was hanging out outside. But it was cool. I got to meet him, and then I watched him do his set. It was all right, not bad. I mean, it's kind of weird because I would consider myself a fan of him. So I think if you do comedy, you're telling jokes to strangers. And it's kind of a different. If you tell jokes to your fans, the jokes don't have to be as good, right? So I think because I was his fan, I probably liked it more than if I had never heard of him. You know what I mean? But I think a couple of his jokes could be punched up a little bit, but overall he was really good at being real. I want to say. Like a lot of comedians, it sounds scripted. Like I was talking about this other comedian last week, where everything he said, it sounded like a script. It sounded like he was doing an act, and it wasn't like the real person. You could totally tell that he's not that person for real, you know. So it seemed fake, but Lee seemed really real. You know, you could tell everything he was saying was true. You know, and so even if the punchline wasn't that great, you could still feel that connection. You know, and I think that's very difficult to do. And the fact that he's able to do that already, you know, I mean, that's the hardest thing to train. So I think just with some more practice, he could definitely be a decent comedian someday. Oh, anyway, after the show there, you know, I was all hyped up, excited. I went outside. I met. I was talking with him, and all the comedians were standing in a circle, talking, hanging out. And then, like, all of a sudden, everyone just started, like, the circle just broke. Like, half the comedians, I didn't know what happened. Like, half the comedians walked back inside, half the comedians walked to the left. Then Lee walks off by himself to the right, and I'm just standing there by myself, holding my dick. I'm like, what? Where'd everybody go? Did everybody just agree to leave me here alone? It was totally weird. Like, it was totally just like spontaneous, just breaking up of the circle. Everyone went their own ways, and I was like, oh wait, I gotta talk to Lee Syatt, man. I gotta talk to Lee. I gotta talk to him, you know. So I ran after him. I was like, hey Lee, what are you doing, man? Are you leaving? He's like, oh no, I'm just looking for some food, you know. So you know, he was talking about. He was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go. I don't know what to eat here. Think I might get some sushi. And I was like, yeah, I don't really know. I don't know this area because I just moved here. And like he started asking me questions about where I came from. You know, I mentioned Japan. Basically, I just fucking told him my whole life story. You know. Oh man, I'm such a fucking idiot. You know. He was like, oh yeah, I'm just looking for some food. And I was like, hey, you want to hear about my childhood? I don't know if you want to. I just want to kind of tell you about my childhood. You know. I don't know. I was kind of like starstruck, or just, you know, I was excited just to talk with him. You know, because I feel like I know him. I know him really well, you know. He doesn't know me at all, but I've been listening to him for years, and so I feel like I know this guy pretty well, you know. I guess maybe some of you, if you know, even if you haven't met me, if you've been listening to this Little Cutie podcast, you might know a little bit about me, I guess, or you might feel like you know me, and I think, you know, people have that connection, you know. Just like Joe Rogan, I feel like I know Joe Rogan really well, even though I never met him, you know, because I've heard him talk for like 1,000 hours, so. So anyway, fucking God, I feel like, you know, his next show wasn't for like another hour and a half, so he was like looking for some dinner. And I feel like I could have hung out with him and went to dinner. I don't think he was meeting anybody, you know. I think he was just gonna go eat by himself. And I could have fucking went and ate with him, but he was like, yeah, I'm gonna go get some sushi. And I was like, yeah, I do the ketogenic diet, you know. I fucking what a goddamn idiot I am, you know. Fuck, man. I'm just like, oh no, I don't eat rice. That was a wrong answer. You know what I should have said? Oh yeah, let's go, man. Fucking, I'll buy you a sushi roll, dude. It would have been cool to hang out with him and talk with him some more, but fucking instead I went fucking talking about the ketogenic diet and fucking how I used to be a little fat boy when I was in school, you know? I'm such an idiot sometimes, man. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I do that a lot. Like I just talk about fucking, I don't know, like after I got back from Germany, when I was a student, like every conversation I had would just be like, oh yeah, you know what happened in Germany? Oh, you know? And basically, like every conversation I have right now is like, oh, I used to live in Japan. You wanna hear me speak Japanese? You know? Like anytime anybody talks about food, it's just like, oh, I do intermittent fasting. I do keto. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wish I would stop doing that, you know, but it's just that I felt like I was giving Lee advice, and it's not something I would normally do. I feel like that's a bad habit, that I give people advice that they don't want. But it's like, I don't know. I feel like he's sort of my friend, you know, and you only give advice to people you care about. I wouldn't just do it to normal people on the street, but I don't know. Since I listened to Lee for so long, and you know, I know how it feels because I felt the same way when I was a kid. You know, I just kind of felt like I had to, not had to, but I don't know. I just wanted to relate to him somehow, you know. Anyway, he was a real cool dude, you know. He was asking me questions about my life and stuff. He seemed like actually interested. He just seemed so chill. He didn't have any ego at all, you know. Even though he's hanging out with all the fucking famous comedians. He didn't have any ego. He was chill to fucking talk with anybody. He was a real cool guy. Anyway, maybe Lee Syatt will be on my podcast one day. I don't know. Probably not though. Maybe I'll be on his podcast one day. Maybe our paths will cross again. Hopefully, seemed like a cool dude. Oh, anyway, yeah, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for today. It's Saturday, dude. What do you got? You guys going down to the beach, bro? Fucking work on my tan. Fucking. I should stop saying the F word, huh? Anyway, I guess that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow.